YouTube, what's going on? Make a video real quick, man. Man, politics is a hot topic, man. Like the last couple of videos, I'm talking about Donald Trump and trucking and stuff like that, man. Woo! People real sensitive about their politics, but it's all good. It's good conversation, man. We not cussing at each other, man. We just giving our opinion, and it is what it is. Everybody different, you know. Everybody got their opinion, so it's all good. It's just good conversation, man. You talking about trucking, spreading knowledge and shit, and growing. That's what it's all about. But yeah, this is like a quick little video, man. I wanted to talk about. I've been bumping into a handful of guys, and they like, oh, crazy guy, what you gonna do next? You gonna get your authority? I want to get my authority. Now I'm talking about, you know, I'm speaking in the third person, you know what I mean? So I'm like, as a guy who, as a company driver, or they just getting into the business, and they talking about, oh, I want to get my own authority. Why don't you get your own authority? Why get paid 65% of the gross? It's like, what y'all understand, these companies, it's a numbers game. So 65% is like a number that's out in the cloud somewhere. Like 65% of what? You know what I mean? Like 65% of $10 a mile, or 65% of $5, you know, or 65%, it, you know, like I talk to guys, they be like, why get 65% of the load when you can get 90% of the load if you get your own authority? It's like, well, like y'all don't know how the freight game works, how freight brokers and how the distribution of freight works, you know, between salespeople and brokers and shit. Like, you don't, just because you get 90% don't mean you making more money. Cause like, if a load going 1,000 miles, well, let me say this, if a load goes 400 miles and it pays, I don't know, say the load goes 400 miles and the load pays $400. Now, without even hearing any kind of numbers, you know that load don't pay shit. But if a load pays $1,500 to go 400 miles, or if the load pays $1,000 to go 400 miles, it's like, it don't matter. It's like, it's to say that you get 90% of the gross, it really don't fucking matter. It's like I could be getting 65% of the gross, and I'll still make more money than a guy making 90% of the gross. You know what I mean? It's like, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Y'all have no idea what the Snyder Choice Board brings to you. You know what I mean? Like, I could be getting 20% of the gross. I'll still make more money than you. You know what I mean? It's like, percentage as a number, because it's percentage, is relative. So like, if Snyder books a load from Georgia Pacific, and Georgia Pacific pays them $1,000 for a load that goes 500 miles, like, how do I know what the rate is that what Snyder negotiated with? What rate? I don't know the rate that Snyder negotiated with Georgia Pacific. I don't know that number. You know what I mean? They could negotiate $10 a mile. They can negotiate $50 a mile. Like, how do I know that? You know what I mean? All I know is when I go on the board, those are the rates that's in front of me. So like, whatever I see on that board, that's what I get. Like, cause it's for example, like I talk to guys because I was talking to a group of guys. I forgot where I was. I think I was at a truck stop somewhere, and these guys, we were just sitting there talking. I forgot what I was doing, and they was talking about rates and shit. And you know, they was talking about rates, and he was like, yeah man, my broker always give me top paying freight. Well, I'm like, well, the broker got to make money too. Like, how you know what that broker is getting for that load? So to say that you getting 70%, 80%, 90%, who knows? You could be getting 50% of the load, because you don't know the true rate of what that load is paying. All you know is what the broker is giving you. Unless you got your own customers and you dealing shipper direct freight, you have no idea what that freight is paying. So I got kind of sidetracked. This video is supposed to be about you guys want to get your own authority. Why do you want to get your own authority? Do any of you guys have any idea of what it takes to get your fucking authority? Yeah, getting your authority is not that hard, like filling out the actual application, but actually managing your authority is a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of fucking work. I'm just telling you. Like I know guys who ran out there and got their authority, and they let that shit go and jump right back on with a company, put their truck on with a company, because it's not worth it. It's like, okay, all this compliance bullshit, because when you get your authority, you're a carrier. You a JB Hunt, you a Snyder, you a US Express, you a small carrier. You a one-man operation. You a carrier. So you got to do DOT physicals. You got to do compliance. You got to do drug tests and all this shit. We ain't even moved no loads. We just got to comply with the fucking laws to move freight. You got to get insurance. You got to get cargo insurance. So when you go out there soliciting your, you soliciting your truck to get loads, okay, you going into customers, you talking to brokers, you better be getting $250 a mile or better. Because if you got your own authority, if you're not getting $250 a mile or better, you got to pay for a trailer. You paying double the month for cargo insurance. That's another thing. When you got your own authority and you going out there to get cargo insurance, a lot of you guys have no idea what y'all talking about. It's like, oh, I want to start my own trucking company. I mean, that's great to have dreams to do that. And I say, I don't want to deter you guys, but coming on YouTube, watching guys with their own authority, you have no idea what they've been through. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say that you can't do it, but you got to look at the reality of running a truck with your own authority. Like I got a truck and I'm leased on with Snyder, and it's a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of work being leased on. Even when you're leased on, it's a lot of work, because you gotta run a truck, maintain a truck. You gotta maintain your numbers on your truck. You self-employed. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody telling you what to do. You got all this extra shit, and then on top of that, you got your authority. You trying to get your fucking authority? You know what I mean? Like, I know a guy, he went and got his own authority. He all right. He finally started to make some money, because he's 6 months into his authority. Now he's finally starting to see the checks, because his first 2-3 months he wasn't making no money, because it takes 30 to 60 days to get your bills in circulations, to get the loads in circulation, because you're not getting paid every week when you got your own authority. Now you can use what's the company to buy your bills, but they take a percentage, and that's somebody else in your pocket. You got to get these people out your pocket. But it's a lot to talk about. But I know a guy who got his authority, and he was telling me all the shit he got to do to get his fucking authority. Like, the DOT had to come to his house, and because you're a carrier, you're an employer when you got your authority. You just like somebody who just opened up a restaurant. You just like that. So you're very small, one-man operation. So what he's telling me is like, man, he had to have that placard on the wall that shows the minimum wage placard, because you're an employee. You got to have that placard, because he had to set up an office. He had to set up a computer with a desk. He had to set up a filing system. Now, when the DOT came to his house and seen that they had to check off that, okay, they had to do an inspection. They had to go through his log books to make sure he's running his logs right. Okay? A lot of y'all, I'm trying to tell you, a lot of y'all think, oh, getting your authority is just a fucking cakewalk. No. No. Sometimes being leased on is good, because you got somebody handling your paperwork, handling your IFTA taxes, handling your log books, handling. So if you leased on, you got a truck and you leased on, like I know guys who got 3-4 trucks leased on to a company. That works for them, and I agree. You got 3-4 drivers you running. You got to manage and hire drivers. That's a full-time job on its own, man. That's like, you got to do compliance, drug screening. You got to manage drivers, and then you got to get them loads and make sure they're getting on time. You got to call customers and solicit your trucks to get work. Like, really? Y'all really want to go and get your authority? Because I get the question all the time, like, what are you going to do when you pay your truck off? You going to get your own authority? I don't know, man. Because at the end of the day, like, real talk, if you're not trying to run more than 2 trucks or 3 trucks, getting your authority is a waste of time. That's just real talk. If you just want to have 1 truck, you might just get 1 truck and lease it on with a company. That's just because the numbers don't work. Because a one-man truck with their own authority, unless you got loads running shipper direct, like getting good rates or whatever, you know, $3-4 a mile, pulling loads directly for a shipper, you know, and you're not getting paid by the week. You're getting paid monthly, sometimes quarterly. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to run your truck for 30 to 60 days without a check. And I don't think a lot of you guys really understand that. You know, that's business. That's how a lot of businesses run. That's how the Snyder's, the JB Hunts, that's how they run. They don't get paid every fucking week. Now, once you start getting customers in circulation, yeah, you might see checks every week, because you got 50 customers that you're servicing. So you're gonna have at least 2 or 3 checks coming in every week. You know, 2 or 3 deposits every week, because you got your truck and you got bills in circulation. You always got bills in circulation. You know, you got bills backed up. Just like, you know, if you was an attorney or you was a doctor or any kind of professional that provides a service, and you're in a billing cycle, a grace period, so to speak. It's almost like if you paying bills at your house, and every week you got a bill. You know, one week you got a mortgage, the next week you got your light bill, one week you got your car note, one week you got car insurance, one week you got the water bill. You know what I mean? But like with me, I try to structure my bills, all my bills at the end of the month. So I got all my due dates. I just pay all my bills at one time. So it's the same thing when you in business. So this the deal. Do y'all really want to get your authority? Do y'all know what it takes to get your authority? I just laid it out. That's the truth. You know, like sometimes it's just good to just lease on and get a percentage, you know? And a lot of you guys talking about, y'all caught up in these numbers. Like, I'm telling y'all, it's a fucking numbers game. It's a numbers game. These companies got it all figured out. They all gonna pay the same money. That's it. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all watching my videos, man. I'll see y'all next time, man.